Shocking. Revelation. A new Bitcoin shock video has just surfaced from Donald Trump's villa. And here you can see Ross Ulbricht's mother walking around in Donald Trump's villa. And many are seeing this as a sign that the strategic Bitcoin reserve is definitely going to happen. Because many are speculating that if Donald Trump pardons Ross Ulbricht on his first day, it would be a sign that Donald Trump will also keep his other campaign promises. And here too, the strategic Bitcoin reserve is going to happen. We're taking a look at this explosive revelation.
At the same time, Bitcoin is pumping massively, and we might be seeing the Bitcoin reserve pump here. We'll take a look at that right away. Why Bitcoin is pumping right now and why this is so important at the moment. What's happening here?
There's also a new article from Bloomberg that says, Donald Trump wants to make cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, a national priority. Check this out, if Bitcoin is a national priority here. So that also means that a strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. I've been saying, for the last few days, the chances are getting higher and higher that a strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. In some betting markets, there's now even over a 60% chance that a strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. And at the same time, there are exactly 8 hours left until the mega event. Donald Trump meets Michael Saylor. And here, it's also very likely going to be about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And you have exactly 8 hours left before this event starts. To buy Bitcoin here, what's really interesting is that today is basically the last trading day before Donald Trump's inauguration. Because Monday is a holiday here in the US, the stock markets won't be open. That means if you want to trade Bitcoin ETFs or something like that, is today the last day where this is possible. And that could also explain the current Bitcoin price increases, because some people just want a FOMO in here before the strategic Bitcoin reserve comes. And in fact, today is the last possible. Today is the day to buy Bitcoin in the TradFi world. And Adam Beck makes a very important point here. He says today is the last TradFi trading day, so traditional finance, before Trump's inauguration as president on Monday. Bitcoin is still undervalued and is below its all-time high. So Adam Beck says that there's an information asymmetry here and Bitcoin is way undervalued. TradFi can take advantage of the price gap on Tuesday with the Bitcoin futures and spot ETFs from CME. Have fun, guys. The Bitcoin markets don't sleep around the clock. Nothing can stop this train. So he says, have fun to the traditional finance folks who can trade their Bitcoin ETFs again on Tuesday, after Donald Trump maybe signs an executive order on Monday. And regular folks can trade Bitcoin 24/7. That's really, really interesting. So if Donald Trump were to issue an executive order or something like that, then regular folks could just go all in. Boom, all in Bitcoin, throw everything in. Could they massively pump the Bitcoin price up? Bam, all in Bitcoin, throw it all in. Could they massively pump the Bitcoin price up? And the Bitcoin ETF pump could then happen a day later. And then basically everyone lost. Those who don't have Bitcoin in self-custody. So those who have Bitcoin somehow running through ETF constructs or something like that. And now an absolute shock video has actually been released around Donald Trump, around Ross Ulbricht. Because a lot of people know, yeah, Ross Ulbricht is sitting in prison for the whole Silk Road thing. He didn't do anything wrong. Didn't kill anyone or something like that. And is he sitting in prison for a very, very long time? He basically just hosted the platform. Can we discuss this now? Whether that's really that bad or whatever. But for sure, Donald Trump wants to pardon him. And now pay attention. Ross Ulbricht's mother was seen at Donald Trump's villa. Here, that was at the New Year's event, the New Year's party hosted by Donald Trump. And I don't know if the footage, if this video is brand new or whatever. I definitely just saw it now. And that brings a whole new twist here into the strategic Bitcoin reserve, because a lot of people assume that if Donald Trump pardons Ross Ulbricht on the first day, then the Bitcoin reserve will also come, because then you know that Donald Trump definitely didn't just make empty campaign promises. Then you also know that he's keeping his campaign promises and has said that on the first day he will pardon Ross Ulbricht. And that could be a signal that he's also very, very positive about Bitcoin. So you really have to pay attention. What happens to Ross Ulbricht if he gets pardoned? Then the likelihood of a strategic Bitcoin reserve shoots up massively. That's at least the assessment of many experts currently in the market. And what a coincidence that Ross Ulbricht's mother is actually at Donald Trump's home right now. Check out the video. You can see the reception area here, and it's pretty clear. Where the arrow is pointing, there goes Ross Ulbricht's mother right into the Trump party. And of course, there were other big personalities here as well. And if you ask me, it can't be a coincidence that suddenly Ross Ulbricht's mother shows up at Donald Trump's place. If Donald Trump isn't already secretly, somehow in contact with the family, maybe even secretly, it's like they're already planning the release of Ross Ulbricht. So in my opinion, this definitely points to the fact that first and foremost, Ross Ulbricht will definitely be pardoned. And that's a really, really good sign that the Bitcoin strategic reserve is also coming to the USA. And I don't know if this is just a coincidence, but Joe Biden is actually saying today, I'm reducing the sentences of nearly 2,500 people who were convicted for nonviolent drug offenses. So that would mean Ross Ulbricht would have to fall under that too. That would fall under it. Could it really be now that Ross Ulbricht is already being pardoned by Donald Trump because Joe Biden is already catching wind of it? Hey, he's going to pardon Ross Ulbricht before Donald Trump gets the praise here. Then a pardon that person right here could also just be a coincidence that now here Joe Biden, a day or a few, not just one day, but a few days before Donald Trump suddenly gets the idea to pardon 2,500. Pardoning people. And to be honest, they're talking about nonviolent drug offenses here. Ross Ulbricht could definitely fall under that category. Although Ross Ulbricht might also be in trouble for arms trafficking or something like that, because yeah, I believe weapons were also sold on Silk Road. I don't know if it was just drug trafficking or if it was also weapons or whatever. I still was. I'm not 100% sure, but some people have read into this, that this could actually be a sign that Joe Biden is going to get one over on Donald Trump again by basically breaking Ross, pardoned before Donald Trump can do that. That here, let's just say Donald Trump, not just getting the credit for it. Although to be fair, I have to say that this is a bit far-fetched, the argument, and that's just pure speculation. And if we take a look here now, Kalshi, weird name, but that's actually the name of the betting exchange here. Here it says that the likelihood of a strategic Bitcoin reserve is now at 66%. So that this year the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. That doesn't mean the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming on the first day. The likelihood is definitely lower there, but that it will definitely come in 2025. The probability is very high, and we've clearly seen how the probability has been rising every day. That means every day new explosive things have been revealed. It doesn't matter if there were any leaks from any newspapers, some executive order leaks, whatever. Now we have the next story here, that in the end, Ross Ulbricht's mother is seen in the Trump villa. And so something new comes to the table here almost every day. I am excited. What's going to happen at the Michael Saylor and Donald Trump meeting? Because we actually have about 8 hours left until this video is released, until the Donald Trump meeting with Michael Saylor takes place, where a lot of people have been speculating and basically waiting for it. Hey, when are they finally going to meet? And now there's actually the crypto ball where Donald Trump is going to be. And here, Michael Saylor will also be meeting. There's this €1 million ticket or $1 million ticket, where you can have dinner with Donald Trump. And maybe Michael Saylor will be at the dinner too. I don't know if they're going to meet privately or if they're just going to meet publicly or whatever. But the likelihood that they're going to talk about a strategic Bitcoin reserve is really, really high. Because why is Donald Trump inviting? What else is Michael Saylor up to? I'd say that's basically what it's all about. That's why we have the whole crypto story here. To work through it, to talk about it. The strategic Bitcoin reserve. So it's called the crypto ball. And in honor of that, Donald Trump is basically making America great with Bitcoin again. So that's kind of the hook for the event. And then we actually have Bloomberg here, who also has something very, very interesting to say. And they say here that Trump is planning Bitcoin, or rather, want to make the crypto ball a national priority here. And it says here exactly that Trump plans to classify the crypto ball as a national priority. It's expected that an executive order will create a crypto advisory committee. So that's going to happen right on the first day. Then Trump allies are discussing the end of the nationwide crypto ball. So those are basically the leaks that came out, I think, a day and a half ago or something like that, that are basically being emphasized again and will be officially confirmed here from Bloomberg, that you can expect here, that executive orders will be signed on the first day. Maybe not the huge executive order saying we're buying 3 million Bitcoin or something like that. But at least this is basically the advisory committee here. It's getting bigger, that they're basically betting even more on Bitcoin, that they're just pushing the regulations forward again, that they're also kind of letting go of all the crypto lawsuits, like Operation Shoppoint 2.0. And what do I know? What all was there? That they're basically leaving all of that free. Actually, there was a letter from Cynthia Lummis to the FDIC, which basically says, hey, this is coming from the FDIC. And here it's basically being said by both governments and so on that they are, here, documents are being destroyed. Because there was, Operation Shoppoint 2.0 that a whole lot of people in the US would get debanked. Because they did something here with Crypto Ball. They did something with Bitcoin. They offered some kind of service with Bitcoin, and then the bank accounts would get closed. They did something. If they had anything else to do with Bitcoin or crypto ball, maybe just a name or something like that, then their bank accounts would also get closed. So there were basically a ton of attacks where entrepreneurs, companies, and a whole bunch of different people were attacked. And now the FDIC, or rather the US authorities, have actually started to destroy these documents where it's clearly documented here that people were arbitrarily censored here arbitrarily. People were basically debanked. And that's supposed to stop now. And that's why Cynthia Loomis here wrote a letter, or at least demanded that the destruction of these documents should stop now. Who gives you that? That's basically it. Pure censorship. Here, the truth is basically being covered up. Here, the whole story is basically being covered up. They could probably even release something like the Twitter files. Elizabeth Warren files show systematic Bitcoin attacks. And maybe the Biden files will come out too. And the Elizabeth Warren files showing how they were systematically attacking Bitcoin. Or the files, those already exist, they just need to be published theoretically. But it looks like certain people want to destroy these files. And that's obviously a huge deal. And that's why it's really important that we fight against this, that you say that. Hey, folks, stop with the crap. Stop destroying all these documents, because we want to bring the truth to light. And that's why a lot of people are shaking in their boots, that if Donald Trump becomes president here, then the Operation Jockpoint 2.0. Here it gets clarified that then the Epstein lists will be clarified, that then the whole thing, other stories that have happened involving a lot of shady people, people from the Democratic side are also involved, and so that they will really be published, will be revealed. There are definitely a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about yet. And a lot of people are speculating about it, that Donald Trump will publish all these files, and including the stop here, let's say the anti-Bitcoin, anti-crypto Jogpoint 2.0 files, that these will also be published here. And then we actually had an exciting interview clip here from Daniel Winkelhammer, the CEO of 21 Bitcoin, who was actually on TV here, talking about Bitcoin and 21 Bitcoin.
How has the recent Bitcoin surge affected the business strategy of 21 Bitcoin?
Basically, not at all. We always focus on long-term investment in Bitcoin. We're definitely noticing now that the interest is, of course, it's always getting bigger, even among a broader target audience. But our business strategy hasn't changed at all. As a company, we've been buying Bitcoin ourselves since 2021, and we just help our customers invest in Bitcoin easily and to keep it safe.
And I would recommend that to you all too. Always look at Bitcoin in the long term, not just in the short term. Don't go making any hasty decisions, but always keep it cool. Look at it long term. And like I said, if you want to buy Bitcoin now, I'll put a link down below to 21 Bitcoin, the easiest way to buy Bitcoin in Europe. Here, you can still get up to 20% off the fees when buying Bitcoin with the code Bitcoin. See you later. Let me know if you're feeling FOMO about Monday's Trump inauguration. See you then. Peace out.